Hello, traders. Cousin Benny coming to you from theclosingprint.com, Sunday, the 12th of November, with your weekend video newsletter. In this edition, we'll cover the indices which rallied last week, adding to a rally that started 2 weeks ago, with the S&P 500 closing above 4,400 to end the week. Breadth improved, and sectors also drove a bit higher, with the exception of energy. Finally, after the close, we had a Moody's downgrade of U.S. debt, which may put a damper on the rally in the short term. The S&P 500, as we mentioned, closed above the 4,400 level, with the call wall shifting to 4,400 as the index added to a rally that started 2 weeks ago, gaining 300 points in the process. RSI is still above 50 and pointing higher. That's good. MACD is above its signal line and rising. Bulls are in control. However, we do have an overbought condition in stochastics, similar to what we had back in June and July. That didn't seem to hold prices back. For now, we have a Moody's downgrade of U.S. debt, so we'll be a bit cautious starting out the week, looking for a follow-through or a stall at this area. Either way, it would be prudent to wait for 10 o'clock or so on Monday and then reassess the quality of this rally. The New York FANG Index, 10 stocks that managed to follow through as well, breaking out on Monday, Tuesday. Similar condition here with MACD and stochastics. RSI pointing strongly higher as these 10 stocks dominate price action, with 9 of 10 of these stocks moving markedly higher last week. We did have Tesla with a little bit of a lag underneath its 21-day and 50-day. We need to see that price action continue to pick up this week to start. We also had Microsoft breaking out. Very strong price action on Apple, Microsoft, Broadcom, and NVIDIA, with the semiconductors leading. That said, we're waiting for small caps to join the party. You do know that I have a iron condor on IWM, so I'm looking for price action to stay in this range between 200 and 160. Still, we'd like to see this index participate and join in. As mentioned previously in the opening monologue, we did see breadth improving, advanced decline percent, move back down to 0, giving us energy to push higher if bulls do return on Monday, Tuesday. So watch advanced decline percent for these four to move higher, along with the NASDAQ McClellan Oscillator and New York Stock Exchange. Both of these are moving higher. I'm looking at the black line, looking for NYSE to continue higher. The summation index, the last time we crossed to the upside was back in June. That led to a nice rally from June into the July peak. In addition, volatility did peak, moved a bit lower, closing at the lows of the week with a gravestone doji on Friday. This is bullish if we continue into this week. With the Moody's downgrade, we'll be watching the yields this week, with the 10-year closing at the 50-day for the entire week, looking for a move lower for the bulls. If you're bearish, you're looking for this to bounce and to drive higher. Powell did mention that he's open to the idea of raising rates if he needs to, which did put a punctuation mark on the 30-year bond auction that drove the markets lower on Thursday. So we really need to pay attention to yields this week, along with junk bonds and high yield corporate. We need to see both of these driving higher. That would give us a follow-through on the past 2 weeks' bullish price action. In addition, we want IWM and biotechs to continue, and for crude oil to back off a bit more. Bitcoin needs to move higher. That's a risk-on asset. And advanced decline, we'd like to see continue higher. Additional signals we would watch. The U.S. dollar has been in a range for the past 6 weeks or so. We're looking for this to move lower. That would be bullish for equities, especially companies like Microsoft, Nvidia that sell products overseas. So look for the US dollar to fade if you're bullish and to move higher if you're bearish. With the dollar range bound, we did see gold move lower along with silver and copper. The latter, of course, is an economically sensitive indicator. We want copper to be moving higher, not lower. So that is one of the bearish signals for the week. While commodities moving lower would be a bullish signal for the week. So we have mixed signals counteracting each other, along with that Moody's downgrade and yields hanging on to the 50-day moving average. Finally, consumers can smile as crude oil continues its decline, peaking back in October, adding to Christmas spirit if we can get crude oil and gasoline prices lower into the end of year. Overall, bonds, currencies, and commodities are giving us mixed signals. Sectors are improving over the last 2 weeks. The rally that started 2 weeks ago on Monday, Tuesday continues to look good, along with what we see in the international ETFs, with Brazil, Mexico, the Netherlands, and South Korea standouts. Looking for continuation this week. As mentioned previously, semiconductors outperformed last week, so you would expect tech to move higher along with that Magnificent 7 or the New York FANG Index 10, with all of those stocks moving higher with the exception of Tesla, which could join the party this week. We do have a lot of retail companies reporting, Target, Best Buy, Walmart, etc. So make sure you're paying attention to the retail stocks if you have any in your portfolio. Also, consumer discretionary looking very strong to end the week. Nice volume the previous week coming into this Monday, Tuesday. Look for RSI to point the way. As strength in the trend improves, RSI will continue to move higher. We're also watching volume very closely into this week and November OPEX on Friday. If this strength in consumer discretionary continues, look for all of these moving averages to continue higher. Since this looks nothing like 2022, when we peaked and saw this indicator turn lower and a bear market start, we look nothing like that. Possibly a rally into November OPEX and a Santa Claus rally to end the year. Okay, traders, this is going to do it for me. This is Cousin Vinny coming to you from theclosingprint.com on Sunday, the 12th of November, with your weekend video newsletter. I'll send out a watch list later tonight around midnight on the East Coast, 9 o'clock on the West Coast. So be sure to check your inbox for that. Also, make sure you check in the names that are on the lists below, especially the group with rising profit estimates, as these companies are doing the exact opposite of what financial media is telling you to expect. Finally, we do have to remember that Moody's had a downgrade of U.S. debt after the close on Friday. So we'll be watching very closely how the markets open up and whether we proceed with weakness or strength going into the opening bell on Monday. Take care, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you in the morning. Ciao.